So a lot of you guys have been wondering what's been going on with my Banshee recently and why I haven't been posting any videos. I've just been pretty busy. Haven't gotten around to it. The Banshee sat all winter long. I think I started it once um, between October and April. And it started in probably about 3 or 4 kicks. And then it was probably about just over freezing, right around freezing when I started it. Took a few kicks, started right up, no problems. And then I just took it out a few days ago and started on the first kick, no problems whatsoever. I left the gas on all winter, didn't bother shutting that off. This video is just more so an update. Some other videos I have coming out, I'm going to do a chain and sprocket switch, do a little re-gear since I have so much more power now than I did when it was stock. I think I'm going to go up one tooth in the front instead of being down one tooth in the front. So that'll be one more tooth than stock. Spread out the gears a little bit more, carry a little more speed on some of the corners and stuff. Don't have to shift as much. This video I'm going to throw in fuel filters install how-to. There's the part number. Really any 1/4 inch inline fuel filter will be fine. You just got to make sure you install it the proper way. There's actually a indicator on there with an arrow that tells you which way the fuel should flow. Right there it says flow, so it flows that way. So you're gonna have to install it this way in between the tank and the carbs. I'm gonna try and install it so in a fashion so that all the air that gets caught in there can bleed up and burp up into the tank. So try and install it at a downward angle like that, sorta. It's not really needed. I'm just throwing it in there just because I know that sand and stuff can get kicked up in the area that I ride very easily, and your gas tank's pretty open when you're filling it, and with the vent tube doesn't collect all the dirt sometimes, so it's a good idea to install one. The other reason is the oil I use has a red tint to it, so you can actually see the red. The fuel almost looks like a pink color, like a light red or a pink, so you can actually see that. So if for whatever reason, if I let someone ride the quad or someone else decides to do me a favor and put regular gas in it, I'd be able to see it change hopefully before it blows up the engine, so I could tell that there is a non-mixed fuel in there. I'm usually pretty strict about who I let ride and who I let maintain my quads. I pretty much do it all myself, but there is that occasion when someone else will take it upon themselves to try and take care of it and do more harm than good. So that's one of the reasons. You can see the fuel. You can tell if your fuel petcock is working. If you have this even on, sometimes dirt and sediments and stuff can clog inside your on-off. So then you cleaning your carbs, knowing your quad isn't getting gas, and having one of these, easy way to tell. I mean, if there's no gas in here, then obviously the problem is between the tank and the fuel filter. So real simple to do. Just snip the line somewhere with some side cutters or a razor blade. Throw this in the middle. If you have too much extra line, cut that off, and then throw a couple zip ties, and you want the zip ties closer to the filter on the opposite side of those ribs right there. So obviously you're going to want to shut your fuel off or make sure your tank is drained. Start the quad up if you want, run the fuel out of the bowls, or you can, if it's somewhere where you shouldn't be starting it, then you could just flip the fuel off and then flip the quad up on its grab bar. And by it being straight up in the air like that, the overflow tubes will kick in and drain all the fuel out. You really just need to get the fuel out of the line, though, not out of the carbs completely. There it is. Just use a utility knife. Sliced the fuel tube in half, installed it, and then turned it on, and I actually just popped off the one fuel line right here just to get the air to bleed out, to get it to flow through. So I'm going to throw some zip ties on there and fire it up, make sure it works.